We're down in Laguna Beach today, all the way from the desert. Now we're out here. We're out here for a beautiful Saturday afternoon before Easter. Well, okay, just a little startup for our comedy club world. If you're a comedian and you want to get more stage time, I'm going to be talking to you about the comedy club business. We're going to be over at the Improv Clubs, which was a very successful chain. So you guys come on down and let's go check that out. Oh, by the way, comedians, or if you're just a business guy that wants to make a lot of money but have a lot of fun with celebs showing up, the comedy club business is going to be the one to get into. The comedians, this is a perfect way for you to meet some famous comedians and make a bunch of money, and get a lot of stage time. Alrighty, so let's get on down to the Improv Comedy Club. Hey, how you doing? Today we're going to be talking about the comedy club business and how you can make money in the comedy club business. I'm out in front of the Improv down in Brea. This is probably about a 400 or 500 seat club. They were originally here in the late 80s. They've had 3 clubs so far, and now they built this massive 500 seat club here. Bunch of guys I used to work with. I just saw Rocky Laporte over here not too many years ago, and he used to work with me all the way back in the 80s. So now they've got these over here. They've got multiple shows over here. Remember I told you that in order to do the comedy club business, you want to be able to get about 250 is like the sweet spot for the amount of people in your club. You know, this place here is, let me get right underneath this place right here. Oh yeah, okay, I'm right underneath the marquee here. This is a beautiful club right here, as you can see. Nice little aisle, there's some restaurants in there also. This is right in downtown Brea, and they have a new restaurant they just put in over here, and up on the street over here I'm going to show you where they had the original club. The original club, or not the original, I'm saying the second club they had put up in here. They actually put another club here. Downtown Brea, they renovated this place about 30 years ago and put in all these restaurants, bars, and they got the Improv to come in down here. So I'm going to show you, they try to upgrade from the original club where I used to work back in the late 80s, and then they put the second version over here. I've seen a few other comics over here, so hold on. So here's the second Improv. This is the one that just down the street from that big 500 seat club here. This one was about 200 or 300 at the time, and I'm just going to take you over by the marquee over here. This guy here lasted here quite a few years, did really good. I've seen a bunch of shows. I didn't work in this one. I worked in the other one, which was behind Target, as we see now. But they still got the ticket windows here. As you can see, that was the original Improv ticket windows. Now, Griffin's is the one that has this here. Kind of a cool spot, alrighty. And now I'm going to take you back down here to the original Improv. All right, we're right back in front of the 500 seat Improv here in Brea. One of the tricks that they management used to try to entice people out here is they would actually have people line up in front of the club before the show. And when I asked the manager, why you guys got everybody standing out there in the sun, why don't you let them come inside? He said, we want people to be driving by and see that something big is going on here. So I like to put a big crowd out in front of the ticket booth and let these people do the marketing for me out here. As you can see, we're right out in front of this place right now. So yeah, usually back in the 90s we were doing like 10, 12 shows a week, you know, on a Friday, Saturday, like today's Saturday, we would do 3 shows, 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Pack them in, 200 people. We'd average about $25 a person, food and drink and a ticket. And we would sell out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 2 shows on a Thursday, 2 shows on a Tuesday with a hypnotist maybe. They were doing amateur night. That would work out. On the amateur night, usually we had to do a contest, and you just bring the people in, and they would be able to actually do a contest, give away a couple prizes, you know, a few bucks. I've worked those, and then usually back in those days in the 90s, they were only paying the headline comedian, and they were doing it. They had a special technique they were doing. They would have a MC. He'd come out and he'd do like about 7 minutes. Then he would bring out the first act, the opening act. He'd do like about 10, 12 minutes. Then you'd bring out the middle. He'd do about 20. And then you'd bring out the headliner. And the headliner's getting the most money. He's getting maybe 150, 200 bucks a show. The middle's getting maybe 75 bucks. Then you've got the opener. He's getting maybe 20 bucks for gas. And then the MC, he's getting maybe 20 bucks. All right, they would do 3 shows a night like that. And the headliner, he's usually doing like 45 minutes to a full hour, depending on what he's got going on there. And we try to flip the room every 2 hours, so you got the 7. So you're going to go like an hour and 3/4. You got 15 minutes to clean the room out, and then we're going to flip it to the next show, the second show. Same thing, the hour and 3/4 flip. It's almost like doing the movie theater business, where in the movie theater business, same thing. They would run the movie, you know, sell you the drinks and the popcorn, the candy, and then they'd roll it out, be done with that place in the length of the movie. That's why movies are never intended to be more than 90 to 120 minutes long, so that the theater could flip them within those 2 hours. And that's the whole way you make the money. You know, now the movies are too long. The theaters are struggling to make the money, and the entertainment business with the film business is definitely struggling. But the comedy club business is on the upswing now. They were down in the mid 90s up until maybe about 5-7 years ago, and they started making a comeback. So the Improv, they had about 35 or so clubs, and Bud Freeman, he had expanded them to that level, and then they ended up selling those guys out. He died here, I guess, like 2 or 3 years ago, and I don't know if they sold it before he died or after he died. I think he sold it before he died, so he was able to get some money out of it. But these clubs are, you can do the search on improv.com, and you're able to find by zip code, I think it is, search for a club in your area. Like there's one in Ontario, California here. We have the one here in Brea, down in Irvine, California, and Hollywood, of course, that's still there. I've worked the one in Hollywood back in the 80s and 90s, as well as the Comedy Store and the other laugh clubs that were around, the Laff Stops, which they were very prominent in Montclair, Claremont, Palm Springs, Newport Beach, and that's where I was the MC of that Montclair, Claremont one for quite a few years there. And then I would fill in because I lived locally, like up the street. When a headliner couldn't make it out because of traffic, they would call me up and said, "Al, can you fill in for the headliner coming in tonight?" So I would run down, do a set, because I could do a headline spot. I could do 45 minutes, I could do 20, I could do 15, whatever they needed. And so that's what I would do, is fill in, get paid, and that was a job that I would have on and off like an emergency call.
I've actually been working with him occasionally here at the Laff Stops. He was just recently did a special for Playboy. It was a comedy special. And let's see what else. He does special shows here all the time. And the cover regular here at the Laff Stops. Let's have a warm welcome for Al Thoreau, ladies and gentlemen.
So those clubs went out of business in the early 90s when the economy sort of like crashed it. You know, live entertainment went out the window, but now they're coming back. So people are starting to go back out. But the sweet spot for a comedy room is going to be about 2 to 250. You know, that's for an intimate room where you can make some money. The rooms that are about 500, like this one here in Irvine, in Brea, I've been in this room a few times. I don't particularly like it because to me it's just too stretched out. They never really fill the room, so they got to pack everybody up front. But still, it's just too big of a room. I prefer a much smaller room, like 200, 250. And like I said, you can do other acts. They've had hypnotists are in there. That's a pretty good live show to see, as well as stand-up comedy. But stand-up comedy always runs really good. Now the Comedy Store in downtown Hollywood, they actually have 3 rooms in there. They have the belly room, which is a small room, like about 50 people. They have the original room, which is maybe about 80 people or so. And then they have the main room, which is about 300. And so you would work all 3 of those rooms, and if you're doing 3 shows a night, you get to work 9 times over there. So they crank them out. It's like a factory. But the comedy club business works really good in suburb areas. If you've got suburb entertainment and restaurant venues, our club was right by a mall, Montclair Plaza, and it was in a right outside the mall, in the one of the half size of the parking lot. And that place did really well from the 80s. They opened up, I think, in 86, and I think he shut it down about 94. But their rent was, I remember, like $14,000 a month. Back in those days, that was a really large nut on the rent. Plus you got staff. You got to be careful on the staff, though. A lot of times in these kind of businesses, you lose money on food waste, liquor waste, also theft from the employees, you know, money as well as theft from the liquor, you know, so you got to be aware of that. And then you got a payroll, you know, of the staff in there, so you may be running about 10, 15 people, maybe 20 people. You got managers, assistant managers, so you got a pretty good little payroll going. But the whole idea of the comedy club business is to work it in volume, and being that we're so close to LA, the bookers, you would get your acts through like comedy bookers who would book these clubs, and like the Comedy Store book comedians out, and you get people who've worked on TV, movie, films, and such. So that way there you're like local, but you're getting like really good talent, and they want to work because you know, they got a car payment, they got a house payment. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention that Rodney Dangerfield, he couldn't get time on the stage as a comedian, so he turned around and opened a comedy club called Dangerfield's down in New York City, which went on to be you know, a very famous comedy club. And then Rodney ended up bringing on Sam Kinison, gave him a start. Sam, I used to open for him when he was in out in the Inland Empire working. I was able to work with him a few times. Amazing comic, Sam Kinison. Bill Hicks, I worked with him. So Rodney, because he struggled to get in the clubs, just did his own club. So if you're a comedian or you have a high interest in the comedy business, that's what you want to be able to do, alrighty? You want to be able to just open your own club, get your own gig going. You know, that will work. That will work for you. You know, you'll be able to make some money, get some stage time, have some fun, get some contacts in Hollywood. I mean, how about that? Alrighty? So, other than that, give me some comments and share, some likes. And by the way, guys, just let me know what you think. If you got any questions, shout them out to me, alright? That's Coach Big Al Fitty coming to you from the Improv in Brea, California. Bye-bye.